Hey guys, what's up? Arvin here. Now today in this video, I'm going to show you how to have a multiple operating system in just one bootable USB drive. If you're interested, watch this video. Okay, so if you're like me, I have a couple of USB drive here, and each one of this USB drive, and each one of this USB drive has an operating system on it. I have one for Windows. I have one for Linux Mint. I have one for Windows 10. I have one for what is this? Ubuntu. I have one for Manjaro, and one for oh, I forgot what I have in here, and that's the problem. Okay, now the thing here is that every time that there is a new operating system or there's a latest release of the distribution from Linux Mint or Ubuntu, what I usually do is just simply download the ISO and burn it or burn it in one of the USB drive and then test it. Since Linux operating system, you can test it without installing it in your system. But let's say if you wanted to have to try, um, let's say you wanted to try the latest Windows operating system that I have tried, the Ghost Spectre. They have Windows 10 and Windows 11 version, or let's say if you wanted to try Windows 10 Lite or Windows 11 Lite. Okay, so you have to have at least five or more USB drive so that you can have each one dedicated to each operating system. And even my wife um, helped me with labeling each USB drive. So she started with Windows 11, but um, the thing is, I tend to uh, replace whatever is the operating system that I have here in case that there is a new release of operating system that I wanted to try. Now, on this case, what I'm going to show you is we're going to have all the operating system that you can download and test and install in your computer and using only one USB drive. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you wanted a let's say at least more than 10 operating system in one USB drive, you can also use an external hard disk drive. Okay, so the bigger the drive that you have, the more operating system that you can download and boot from it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to let me show you my desktop. Okay, so it's right here. So what we're going to do now, or we're going to do first, is we're going to download a piece of software. So let's go to let's type in Ventoy. Okay, so Ventoy, and it says here, it is an open source tool to create bootable USB drive for ISO files. Now with Ventoy, you don't need to format the disk again and again. Okay, so let's open this link, and then and it says here tested ISO. So in Windows, um, they were able to test Windows 7, 8, 8.1, 10, 11, server, the 2012, right here. So Linux, almost all Linux operating system is working right here. So Unix, if you're using Unix, there's a FreeBSD, Dragonfly, FPSense, PFSense, TrueNAS, FreeNAS, Chrome OS, okay, and others such as BMR, SC, Citrix, and Server. Okay, so it is right here. So they already documented all the operating system that you can try or you can use using Vintoy, or you can boot from using Vintoy. So let's go to downloads. Okay, now since I am using Windows operating system, I'm going to use Windows.zip. If you're let's say in Mac or Linux, you can download the live CD ISO and use Valina Etcher. Okay, but in my case, I am running Windows 10 in my system right now. So let's open up Windows. Let's click on Windows.zip, and then let's click on download the latest version of Vintoy. Okay, So let's wait for it. And it says file already exists. I don't care. So let's try and open up. It's no, it's not there. So let me just change the download folder just to make sure. Okay. Uh-huh. Let's go to documents. Select folder. Hey, show solution. Override existing file. Okay, so that's it. Let me go back to the downloads. Okay. Hey, solution override. Click on download. Okay, because I have this internet download manager that I'm testing right now, and it's a free and open source. So let's click on open folder. Let me just minimize this one, and let me just put this here in my desktop. Drag and drop here in my desktop. So right click and extract files. Click on extract files just to make sure. Desktop, and okay. So there you go. So I have the Vinto here, so I can delete this one. Okay, double click, and like I mentioned earlier, I already have um, my 16 gigabytes USB drive. Okay, right here. Let me just close this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on this one or right click and run as administrator, but just simply double click on this one and then click on yes, and then close this one, and it automatically detected the USB drive that you have plugged in your computer. If you have any other disk drive that is plugged in right there in your computer, make sure that you are choosing the right USB drive. Okay, so let's click on install, and it says here there's a warning. The device will be formatted and all the data will be lost. So continue. So let's click on yes. Again, let's click on yes. So there's the double check. It's like a redundant check. Okay, so now while we're at it, and as you can see, it's very fast. Okay, it's already installed on my um, SanDisk folder there. So let me just close on this one. Then let's open up the USB drive. Oop, refresh, and then let's double click on it. And here's the cool part. Okay, let's say I wanted to try. I'm going to try Manjaro. Okay, and this is the Linux operating system that I wanted to try. So click on download, and you have different options. You can download all these three versions. Okay, KDE Plasma, XFCE, or GNOME. Let me try the download the XFCE because I know this is just small. It's only 3.64 gigabytes. Let me click on download. Okay, and let's wait for it. Let me just move it here. So I'll pause this video, and with the magic of editing, I'll go back once this is already downloaded. Okay, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there you go. I have already downloaded the XFCE version of Manjaro. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the cool part. Now, all you have to do is just drag and drop. So you can see this is an ISO. Okay, so all you have to do is just drag and drop the ISO to our Vintoy. Okay, and then while we're at it, and let's say if you wanted, say if you're curious what does KDE Plasma looks like, you can also download this one. This one is a bit bigger. One moment, let me just try the GNOME. Okay, so all you have to do is just download this tree if you wanted to test it in an instance. Okay, but it's still one ISO or one operating system or one distribution or flavor, should I say, KDE Plasma, or desktop version that you wanted to use. Okay, so let me just try downloading um, KDE Plasma. Okay, so let's give it a try. And again, I'll pause this video or cut a jump cut once this is already downloaded. Okay. Okay, so there we have it. You can see we have two operating system or two different versions of Manjaro. So we have the KDE and the XFCE, and it's inside the Vintoy USB drive that we have just created. Now I'm not going to um, pull out the USB drive. Okay, so one moment. Okay, so I'm not going to pull out the USB drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart my computer and then press the escape button here on my keyboard. So it's right here, and then we'll boot up to BIOS, and then we will choose the we'll have our BIOS and choose to boot it to the USB drive. Okay, so I'm going to cut this or um, stop this video, and then I'm going to record what I have on my desktop. Okay. Okay, so here's my desktop, and as you can see, the Vintoy or the USB drive is still right there. Oops. Okay. I think I have a problem with my uh, graphics card. So the Vintoy is right there. So when I click on it, so we have the two um, version of Manjaro. So I'm going to close this one and then click on restart. Okay. And then I'm going to press the escape button on my keyboard. Okay, so now we're inside the BIOS of my X79CD3. Yeah. Okay, so I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm going to the boot option. So instead of using this, I press enter and use the UEFI SanDisk. Enter. And this is where my computer is going to boot from, the USB drive. So click on save and exit, and then you will see that we will be given it will show us the user interface of Vintoy. Okay, so now it's booting, and there you have it. As you can see, Vintoy will give us the option to boot from KDE or XFCE. So let's try and boot up XFCE, and then it will ask us if we want to boot in normal mode, in grab2 mode, file checksum. So let's click on normal mode. Okay. Okay. So now this is the boot drive of the boot options of Manjaro. So it's if you can choose a different language. I understand. Type of keyboard. Okay. So it says boot with open source drivers or boot with proprietary drivers. Now in my case, or the Tech EFI bootloader, no, I'm not going to do that. Not going to edit the options. So I would let's try boot with proprietary drivers. So let's click on it. And let's give it a few seconds. You can also do this on Windows 10. Or maybe later I'm going to show you that I have a Windows 10, 11 installer. Okay, so now it's booting up Manjaro. And this is the boot up screen of Manjaro. And my screen is very dusty. As should have cleaned this one first before I'm filming it, but I'm so excited to try or to show this to you guys because I should have known this software earlier so that I don't have lots of USB drive on my hand. So now it's booting up Manjaro, so let's give it a few more seconds. And the best part, like I've mentioned earlier, the best part about using Linux, you can run it on a USB drive without wiping the hard disk drive of your computer. So don't worry, later I'm going to clean this one. It's just that I noticed in the camera that it is very dusty. But I cannot see it with my naked eye, only in camera for some reason. So maybe my USB drive is a bit slow, or maybe because this is just the first time that I'm going to boot Manjaro. So I'm going to pause and then jump cut to the video, okay, where the operating system is already boot up. Okay, there you go. So now it's boot up. It booted up. Okay, so we have Manjaro. And so I'm not going to install or launch the installer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and use this one or test this one. Okay, so it's running. It is running. And let's open up a web browser. What web browser do we have? Let's click on the web browser. Because I am already connected to the internet and it is running on a USB drive. Okay. See? Let's try. Let's go to my. Let's go to my channel, of course.
Seamlessly and experiment freely.
Can skip.
Hey guys, what's up? Arvin here for today's video.
Okay, so it is running in a USB drive, okay, and it's running very smooth. Okay. What do we have here? Let's play around. Let's see what we have here. Accessories. Okay, catfish bulk rename. Okay, so task manager. As you can see, it's only using 1% of my CPU and 19% of the memory. Okay. Okay. Let's close and shut down. Shut down. See how fast it shut down? Okay, so if I'm going to try and reboot this one again, it will open up using the Vintoy. So now I have another Vintoy here, a USB drive. That's just for testing. And I'm going to show you that you can also try running Windows 10 or Windows 11 or any other Linux distro here. And I have, this one is 63 gigabytes. Okay, so let me just pause the video. I'll plug this at the back of my computer and we'll boot from it. Okay. Okay, so let me just press the start button. Smash the escape key on the keyboard again. So I plugged the other USB drive that I have, the bigger one, that contains different operating system. So once in the BIOS, again, let's go to the boot option and then change the boot option 1 to UEFI USB and then click on save and exit. Save changes and exit. Okay. Now it will restart and then it will boot to the USB drive. And I'll show you, if you have a bigger USB drive, you can have different operating systems. So as you can see now, I have Linux Mint, I have Pop OS, I have Tiny 10, which is a stripped down Windows 10, Tiny 11, also a stripped down Windows 10, 11, Windows 10 Pro, Windows Pro Super Light, Windows 11, Windows 7, 64-bit ISO. So let's try. I don't have the, this is the Ghost Spectre version, Super Light. So let me just click on it. And again, you can use the Win mode or in normal mode. Normal mode will work just fine. And it's running. It's already there. So, okay, so let's just wait for it. And you can see the spinning whatever icon there. Okay, for Windows 10. And there's the Ghost Inspector. Okay, so it's running. So let's open up Explorer. There you go. So I am running Ghost Inspector in a USB drive.